Maybe off-season work is overrated. That's one interpretation of Bill Belichick opting to cancel the Patriots' remaining 2 practice sessions under the organized team activity umbrella before taking an extended break prior to training camp. Maybe passing camp isn't all that important in the overall scheme of things. It's more about teaching, as Belichick suggested last week. Perhaps training camp is the better barometer because that's when the pads go on. Another interpretation, Belichick finally threw his hands up without Tom Brady and decided it was best to just move on after completing 8 spring practices, 5 OTAs without Brady and Rob Gronkowski and 3 mandatory minicamp sessions with them. Whatever the case, there are certainly some issues left to be resolved during training camp, which starts late next month. Who's in the slot? While Julian Edelman's PED suspension is pending appeal, the Patriots will be operating on the premise the receiver will miss the first 4 games of the season. Someone, or a combination of players, will have to occupy the slot and run Edelman's routes in the offense. Jordan Matthews can play a role as a slot receiver. Ditto Riley McCarron and Braxton Berrios, who fit more in the mold of a prototypical slot receiver. We haven't seen much of Berrios, who spent most of his time on the lower rehab field during OTAs. It's hard to make up all the missed time, but he'll need to do so during training camp. At this point, Matthews would be the leader in the clubhouse. He's made a positive impression both with his work ethic, he was one of the first on the field and last to leave during minicamp, and his ability to get open. As for McCarron, he's looked sure-handed fielding punts and kickoffs, but we'll need to see more of him in the offense with Brady. Connecting with Tom will having him miss the first 7 weeks with his teammates, and the abbreviated final week of voluntary activities, have an impact on how he performs and connects with the new receivers. When asked if he felt his absence would impact or hurt the team, Brady said, "I hope not. Ultimately, the proof will be in how they all come together during training camp and perform during the season." Brady looked fine during the 3-day mini-camp. If he's having problems getting on the same page with his pass catchers early on, if the team starts out slow, the fingers will point toward his decision to go on a different off-season path for personal reasons and not participate in the voluntary workouts. Gilmore sidekick. We are no closer to finding out who is going to take over the Malcolm Butler role opposite Stephon Gilmore. First, there's the Jason McCourty mystery. He continued to be a spectator during team drills at training camp. For whatever reason, Stephon's twin brother didn't get many reps on defense, either in OTA work or mini-camp action. It's hard to know if the cornerback was dealing with an injury or just taking mental reps from the sideline. When asked last week, he evaded the question. Perhaps the coaches know what he is, and they just wanted to get a better look at the younger players. Or, maybe he's really in a fight with this group of backs, namely J.C. Jackson, who took most of the reps opposite Gilmore. Jackson is an undrafted rookie, much like Butler, and has opened some eyes thus far. The slot corner job is also up for grabs. Second-round pick Duke Dawson might be in the lead for that job, but Cyrus Jones, ACL surgery, and Jonathan Jones, foot injury, didn't participate in any competitive drills. It all sets up for a good training camp battle. Gronk's contract. The Patriots tight end wants a new deal. He said as much when he met the media during minicamp. Will it happen before training camp? And if it doesn't, will he appear in training camp? Those are the pressing questions. The sides need to figure if a new deal will be something along the lines of an incentive-based raise, which is what he got last year, earning him an extra $5.5 million, or if he'll just get the cash up front with a guaranteed increase in base pay, without performance incentives attached. Gronkowski, arguably the NFL's top tight end, is set to make $8 million in base salary this season. That puts him fourth in terms of tight ends. Is the Gronkowski camp arguing he should be paid more like a wide receiver? Another point for debate. Blindside with players in different stages of rehabilitating injuries. We saw quite a few different alignments with the offensive line. with starting left guard Joe Thuney having foot surgery and not present. Prior to team drills, Mammoth Trent Brown was at left tackle taking over Nate Sater's spot and rookie Isaiah Wynn at left guard. Both of them were rehabbing injuries, and didn't participate in mini drills. It'll be interesting to see if it stays that way at camp, especially if Thuney is able to return. The right side had Shaq Mason at guard with Ladrian Waddle at tackle, as Marcus Cannon, who worked out on the lower fields most of the time, continues to rehab from his ankle surgery. Brown and Wynn were pretty much inseparable during camp. They caught the wrath of Dante Scarnecchia on one occasion for blowing an assignment. They'll be a good duo to watch going forward.